There was a time when I thought success was a destination, a place you arrive at when everything falls perfectly into place, when the stars align, when life stops testing you, and when pain finally lets you go. But life doesn't wait for perfect moments. Life teaches you through your brokenness, your silence, and your setbacks. And that's when I learned success is not built in one day. It's built in the quiet courage to rise day by day. You don't wake up one morning and find your dreams at your doorstep. You carve them slowly through discipline, compassion, and relentless hope. You build your success by showing up even when you feel invisible. You build it when you choose to believe in your worth, even when life has tried to strip you of it, brick by brick, step by step, day by day. Your scars are proof that you survived and that you're still building. There are some battles you never choose to fight. Life places them in your path like storms with no warning. And when those storms leave, they don't always take everything with them. They leave behind pieces shattered, scattered, and raw. The world will often tell you to hide those pieces, to mask the pain, to put on a smile and pretend nothing ever broke. But you and I both know hiding your scars does not make you whole. In fact, it keeps you from seeing how far you've come. Your scars are not shameful. They are sacred. They tell a story no one else lived through. They whisper of nights you cried alone, mornings you questioned your worth, and moments you stood back up when everything inside told you to stay down. Each scar is like a chapter in your book of becoming. Some chapters are messy. Some are full of grief. But every single one of them carries strength. Not because you avoided the pain, but because you felt it and kept moving anyway. The world may only notice your smile, your success, or your strength, but you know the truth. That behind every brave face was a heart that broke and healed in silence. And that silent healing became your foundation. Building your success day by day means embracing the part of you that has been through fire, not wishing it away, not erasing it, but honoring it for the fire-forged steel it left in your soul. There's something beautiful about a person who doesn't just talk about the light, but who has walked through darkness and still chooses to shine. That kind of radiance is unshakable because it comes from surviving what should have destroyed you. Some days you look at your reflection and not recognize the face staring back, not because you've changed physically, but because of the strength that now lives in your eyes. That strength wasn't born in comfort, it was born in chaos. You didn't just survive the storm. You became the calm after it. You learned to breathe through the ache. You discovered how to bend without breaking. And that became your power. There is no timeline for healing, no expiration date for grief. Some scars will always ache when touched. But that doesn't mean you haven't grown. It means you're human. And it means your healing is honest. The most powerful people are not those untouched by pain. They are the ones who felt every ounce of it and still chose love, kindness, and purpose. That kind of strength is quiet but unstoppable. Sometimes we think success must look polished and perfect. But the real success is built with trembling hands and a heart that refuses to quit. It is built with tears that never got seen and with hope that never fully faded. Let your scars remind you that you are still here. Let them speak for you when your voice shakes. Let them anchor you to your truth that no matter what has happened, you are still becoming, you are still building your life one breath at a time, one choice at a time, one act of courage at a time. And it's okay if some days don't look like progress. The fact that you showed up means you're still building. Every time you look at your scars, don't see pain. See power, see proof. Proof that you've been through the storm and you are still standing. And that is more than enough. Consistency in small steps is more powerful than one giant leap. The world loves grand gestures. It praises big wins, loud announcements, and fast results. But real transformation, it happens in the quiet, in the stillness, in the small, unnoticeable decisions you make every single day. There is something so powerful about simply choosing to show up, not perfectly, not even confidently, just showing up again and again, especially on the days when everything in you says not to. You don't need to leap over mountains every day. Some days, the most heroic thing you'll do is take a single step forward, and that step, though it may seem small, carries within it the weight of every step you've taken before. We tend to underestimate the beauty of small beginnings. We think if it's not grand, it doesn't matter. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The seed doesn't bloom overnight. It grows quietly, faithfully, in darkness first. Every time you rise before the sun, every time you whisper words of affirmation to your heart, every time you choose kindness over bitterness, you are building something extraordinary even if the results aren't visible yet. Success is never built in a rush. It is layered with patience, with intention, with discipline. You don't need to rush your process. You just need to trust it. The days you feel tired, the moments when motivation fails you, those are the exact times consistency matters most. Not because the step is easier, but because your spirit chooses to keep walking anyway. You are not in a race. You are in a journey, and this journey is sacred. It is shaped not by how fast you move, but by how faithfully you move, even when the path feels unclear. Think about it, no great building was ever constructed in one day. Each brick was placed with care. Each layer was measured with purpose. Your life is the same. Your success is the same. Stop waiting for the perfect time to begin. Begin with what you have, where you are. Perfection is not the goal. Progress is. And progress is always the result of small, intentional steps. Some days will feel like setbacks. You'll feel like nothing is changing. But even then, something is growing beneath the surface. And one day, that growth will bloom in ways you never expected. Keep waking up, keep trying, keep forgiving yourself for the days that feel off. Because in doing so, you are creating a rhythm of resilience, a rhythm of hope. No one may applaud your efforts right now. The world may not notice the quiet ways you're healing and growing. But your soul knows, and that knowing is enough. Don't underestimate what daily devotion can build. A masterpiece is created one brushstroke at a time, one prayer at a time, one breath at a time. Success is not a finish line. It's a lifestyle. And the most powerful way to live that lifestyle is to honor the small steps that carry you forward again and again. The most beautiful growth comes in the dark. There's a kind of growth that doesn't happen in the light. It doesn't happen when life is kind, when the road is smooth, or when we feel full of hope. It happens when we are at our lowest, when we are lost, when we are hurting, and when we are buried beneath the weight of silence. Most people fear the dark seasons of life. They run from it, numb it, or pretend it isn't happening. But what if the darkness was never meant to destroy us? What if it was sent to deepen us? We don't get to choose the timing of our struggles. They arrive uninvited. But we do get to choose what we become because of them. In the darkness, you meet parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed, the strength you didn't know you had, the courage you forgot you carried. Pain has a way of peeling back the layers we hide behind. It strips away the noise, the distractions, the masks. And in that stillness, in that solitude, we are introduced to the truest version of ourselves. Think of the seed planted deep in the soil. It doesn't scream for the sun. It doesn't resist the dirt. It trusts the process. In that stillness, in that pressure, it grows roots. And those roots are what make the bloom possible. When you are in the dark, don't panic. Don't assume you're failing. It might be the very place where your foundation is being formed. It might be the hidden chapter where you are preparing to become everything you were meant to be. There's a sacred kind of transformation that happens when no one is watching. It's quiet, it's raw, and it's honest. You begin to rebuild not for attention, not for validation, but because you realize your soul is worthy of healing. You start to understand that healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper. Sometimes it's a breath. Sometimes it's sitting with your brokenness and still choosing not to give up. Darkness reveals what light sometimes hides. It teaches you to stop searching for approval and start seeking alignment. It invites you to move inward, to rediscover your values, to understand your pain, and to find purpose in it. When you walk through darkness, you develop compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. You learn that it's okay to not be okay. You learn that softness is strength, that vulnerability is courage. The most radiant people are not those who've never struggled. They are the ones who allowed their struggles to refine them, who didn't curse the darkness, but let it carve them into something real. Your growth may not be visible yet, and that's okay. Some changes happen beneath the surface. Some revolutions happen within the heart. And even though no one sees it, you feel it. And that's what matters. Every sleepless night, every tear cried in silence, every whispered prayer you didn't think anyone heard, it all counts. It is all part of your becoming. You are not buried. You are planted. The darkness doesn't last forever, but the strength it builds within you, that stays. That becomes part of your story. That becomes part of your light. Don't rush your way out of the hard seasons. Let them teach you. Let them soften you. Let them remind you that the most beautiful versions of who you are were born when the world wasn't looking. Gratitude turns your struggles into strength. Gratitude is not about pretending that life is perfect. It is not about ignoring pain or denying the hard moments. It is about finding meaning in the mess. It's about looking at your life exactly as it is and still saying there's beauty here. It's easy to be grateful when everything is going well. When you're winning, when people are clapping, when your plans unfold the way you imagined. But the real test of gratitude comes when nothing looks the way you hoped. Gratitude doesn't require a stage. It lives in the quiet moments, waking up after a sleepless night, whispering, "Thank you," even when your heart feels heavy, choosing to believe there is something valuable in the lessons you never wanted. When life breaks you, gratitude can become your glue. It won't take away the pain, but it will give you the strength to hold your brokenness with tenderness. It helps you realize that even in loss, there is still love. Gratitude teaches you to pay attention, to notice the small things, a gentle breeze, a kind word, a deep breath. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what still remains. And that shift can change everything. You may not have all the answers. You may not know how your story ends, but you have this moment. You have a heart that still beats. You have breath in your lungs. That is enough to start. Struggles can harden us or they can soften us. Gratitude is what makes the difference. It turns bitterness into wisdom. It transforms disappointment into depth. It reminds you that you are more than your suffering. Every painful experience you've walked through has taught you something. Maybe it taught you resilience. Maybe it revealed your inner strength. Maybe it showed you who truly stands beside you. That's something to hold on to. Gratitude does not mean ignoring reality. It means embracing it fully while still choosing to see the light. Even when the light feels faint, even when the light feels far away. There's a quiet kind of courage in waking up each day and choosing to see the good, especially when life has shown you so much bad. That choice, that mindset is the foundation of transformation. You don't need more to be grateful. You just need to pause, to look around, to recognize that your journey, no matter how imperfect, has shaped you into someone wiser, deeper, kinder. The moment you begin to see your struggle as your strength, everything changes. You begin to feel empowered instead of defeated. You begin to feel guided instead of forgotten. Gratitude gives you access to peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. It anchors you when everything else feels uncertain. It holds you steady when the world shakes around you. Even in your waiting season, even in your healing, there is something to be grateful for. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are present, because you are still trying, and that is enough. Let your gratitude be your superpower. Let it shape your perspective. Let it be the quiet force that transforms your pain into power, your confusion into clarity, your wounds into wisdom. Your story is not over. Keep writing it with courage. There are chapters in your life that will feel like the end. Moments when you sit in silence, staring at the ruins of what once was, wondering if anything good can come from it. But endings are not always endings. Sometimes they are invitations. Life will break your plans just to build your purpose. It will close doors you never imagined would shut. But in that closing, in that pause, there is space for a new beginning to rise. Your story is not over. Even if you've lost your way, even if you feel tired, even if your voice trembles, you are still here. And as long as you have breath, you still have the power to begin again. Courage is not about being fearless. It's about facing your fear and choosing to keep going. It's about writing the next sentence of your life, even if your hands are shaking. There will be days when all you can do is survive, when the only thing you accomplish is making it to the next moment. That is still part of your story. That is still progress. You are not weak for needing time. You are not failing because you don't have it all figured out. Your healing, your growth, your journey, it all takes time, and that time is sacred. Don't rush your way to the finish line. Life is not a race, it's a canvas. And every brushstroke, even the messy ones, is part of the masterpiece. The most powerful stories are not the ones filled with perfection. They are the ones that show pain and healing, fear and courage, falling and rising again and again. Every time you decide to get back up, you're rewriting the story others thought was over. You are reclaiming your narrative. You are reminding the world that you are not defined by your defeats. You are the author of your life. Others may write in the margins. Life may add twists you never expected, but the pen is still in your hand. You decide what happens next. It's okay if the next chapter looks nothing like the last. Growth often requires letting go. It asks you to release what once served you but no longer fits who you are becoming. Let your life be a love letter to resilience. Let every paragraph carry your truth. Let every word reflect your strength. Even if it hurts, especially if it hurts, your story is not just for you. Someone, somewhere will read your pages and find hope. They will see your scars and realize they are not alone. That is the power of authenticity. You are not broken, you are becoming. You are not lost, you are evolving. You are not finished, you are still writing. Keep going. Keep writing. Keep breathing. Keep believing. Because this page right now might just be the beginning of the most beautiful chapter yet. Consistency is more important than motivation. We often wait to feel inspired before we take action. We wait for motivation to strike like lightning, believing that only when we feel ready will we be able to move forward. But what if the key to building a meaningful life isn't found in waiting but in showing up anyway? Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. It's influenced by your mood, your environment, and 100 little things outside your control. But consistency, that's a decision. A daily choice to honor the commitment you made to yourself. Success isn't built in moments of hype. It's built in the quiet, repetitive hours when no one is watching. It's built on the mornings you wake up tired, on the days your heart is heavy and yet you still choose to show up. Consistency is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting, but it's honest. It's the kind of power that doesn't shout, it whispers, keep going when everything in you wants to stop. There will be days when you don't feel like trying. Days when the doubts scream louder than your dreams. But those are the days that define your growth. Not because you felt strong, but because you chose to stay committed. You don't need to take massive steps every single day. You just need to keep moving forward. Even if all you can do today is one small actlet, that'd be enough. Success isn't built in leaps, it's built in steps. The people who build extraordinary lives are not the ones who always feel inspired. They are the ones who show up even when they don't. They understand that true transformation lives in discipline. Consistency teaches you to trust yourself. The more you show up for your goals, your health, your peace, your purpose, the more you begin to believe that you are capable, that you are reliable, that you are worthy of success. Motivation might spark the beginning, but consistency sustains the journey. It keeps the fire burning long after the excitement fades. It teaches you to focus not just on how you feel, but on who you're becoming. Growth rarely feels glamorous. It's hidden in your routine. It lives in your habits. It's buried in your effort. But over time, those invisible moments become the foundation of everything visible. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll wait forever. Readiness is a myth. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start messy. Start uncertain. Start scared, but start, and then keep showing up. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. You just have to be honest with yourself. and willing to take the next small step, even if the path ahead still feels unclear. Your future is being shaped by what you do today. Not someday, not next year, not when you feel like it. Every consistent act is a declaration that you believe in your future, even when the world hasn't caught on yet. Trust the process. Trust that your efforts are not in vain. Trust that every little action, every repetition, every moment you choose, discipline over comfort, is building something beautiful beneath the surface. One day, you'll look back and realize it wasn't the loud days that changed your life, it was the quiet ones. The ones where you chose to be consistent, even when motivation was nowhere to be found. Success is not a destination, it is a daily devotion. Success is not the sudden moment of applause. It's not a glittering trophy at the end of a race. It is what you built quietly, in the stillness of each morning, in the way you rise, in the way you return, in the way you choose growth over giving up. It's how you speak kindly to yourself when no one's listening. It's how you decide to heal, to forgive, to breathe, to try again and again. The world will often measure your success by what they can see. But real success, it begins deep within you. It's found in your discipline, your patience, your resilience. It's found in those small choices that no one claps for, but that shape the course of your life. You don't have to build everything in one day. You were never meant to. But you do have to begin. And you do have to keep going. Even if the steps are small, even if the light is dim, even if the progress feels invisible, your journey still matters. You still matter. Success is not about perfection, it's about presence. It's about showing up for yourself with love, with courage, with quiet strength. It's about trusting the process even when it feels like nothing's changing. It's about knowing that every effort, every repetition, every act of grace adds up. Let today be the day you stop waiting for the right moment and start creating it. Let today be the day you honor your purpose, not with grand gestures, but with unwavering devotion. Let your daily efforts be the foundation of a life that is honest, fulfilling, and deeply meaningful. Because every brick you lay today becomes part of the life you're building tomorrow. Every step you take today becomes part of the story you're writing with your existence. So don't rush, don't compare, don't quit. Build your success. Not by force, not by fear, but by faith, one honest, powerful, intentional day at a time.